Hello, dear students. Since your AP Stat exam is coming up soon, within 2 weeks from today, I thought we'll solve some multiple choice exam questions. These are from 2012 practice paper that you can see on the screen. So let's see how many questions we can do in the next few, let's say 5 or 6 minutes. Let's go to page, let's go to page 23, where the first question is. Okay, let's see what the question says. Of the following dot plots, so we're given some dot plots here, which represents a set of data that has the greatest standard deviations. We're looking for the greatest standard deviation. Now, if you recall what standard deviation is, it gives you an idea of, on average, how far is each value from the mean, right? On average, how far is each data value from the mean, from their respective mean. So if we want to find the greatest standard deviation, we want to have our data values as far away from the mean as possible, right? How do you find standard deviation? You don't need to, of course, calculate here anything, but you basically find the deviations, right? Which is the each data value minus the mean, and then you square those deviations, which are called the squared deviations, and then you add them up. So we want to maximize the distance of our data values from the mean as much as possible. We want them to be as far away from the mean as possible. So we can see that clearly here because this is a visual data representation, right? One thing you'll notice here, let's look at the answer choices. One thing you'll notice here is that all the data values range from 0 to 10. And so not only that, but also they are arranged symmetrically, which means for all answer choices, the mean is 5. That's one thing you have to notice, and it's important, right? Because now if the mean is 5, right, you want to actually, which is right in the middle, right, between 0 and 10. So you want to have your, if I just draw, like, for example, the mean is here and here, I want all my dots to be, as far away from the mean as possible, right? And that is obviously happening in answer choice B. You can see clearly in answer choice A, we have some values close to the mean. Same thing here in C, D, and E. So of course, the distances of those data points which are close to the mean, their distances from the mean will be very small, right? So you can clearly see here, if we look at the distance of the first value, the second one, right? So we have these large distances and these will get squared, right? So, and then we have the same on the other side. So in hindsight, how can you solve this problem quickly? You can just simply check if you're given a dot plot. You want to basically have all your data values as far away from the mean as possible. So basically there should just be away on the two ends as much as possible. So our answer choice is B. Let's go to the next question. Let me clear the drawings here. Okay, so let's scroll down a bit. All right. A random sample of 374 United States pennies was collected and the age of each penny was determined. Okay, according to the box plot below, what is the approximate interquartile range, the IQR of the ages? Now, if you recall what IQR is, right? IQR, the interquartile range, is the distance between, or it's the difference, which is the same thing here, between the third quartile, which is Q3, and the first quartile, which is Q1. So let's see, as you know, this is your third quartile, this is Q3, and this is your Q1, the first quartile in the box plot. All you have to do is see where they are on the y-axis, which is on the left-hand side, which is the ages of the pennies, and then just subtract, them one from the other. Obviously, the smaller one from the bigger one. So to me, this looks like let's say at 19 or 18. I'm going to put down 19, the Q3, and the Q1. Let's say, I don't know, perhaps 4 or 3. So 19 minus 4 is 15. That's the approximate IQR. If we look at the answer choices, we can see a 16 here, and that's the closest one. Okay, so the question is done. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. Let's clear the drawings here. We're doing good for time. This will be the last question we'll do. We have a histogram here, as we can see. Let's see what the question says. It says the histogram above shows the number of minutes needed by 45 students to finish playing a computer game. Which of the following statements is correct? So in a question like that, what do? There's no way you can figure out the answer from before because, you don't know what the statements are saying. So all you can do is evaluate each statement one by one and figure out the truth value of each statement, whether it's true or false. And hopefully you can find the true one, right? And only one of them, obviously. So let's see what the answer choice A says. It says the distribution is skewed to the right. So they're talking about skewness here. So let's determine that for this graph. If you recall, skewness is towards the longer tail, right? Which is going to be the flatter or the shorter tail, right? And you know the direction in which you find that tail moving towards, that's where the skewness is. So this is skewed to the left, obviously. So answer choice A is incorrect. Answer choice B says skewed to the left. That is obviously correct. Let's select this one, but let's check all the other answers as well. The distribution appears to be normal. Obviously, it's not normal, right? You can see that it's skewed, it's heavily skewed. Appears to be chi-square. Answer choice D. It is not chi-square. If you recall, chi-square has another tail, right? So it looks, chi-square looks something like this. Now, obviously, this stops up here. So this is not chi-square. That's wrong as well. And then the last one says the distribution appears to be uniform. Uniform is supposed to look like what? Uniform is supposed to be flat on top, right? Or close to flat. Obviously, this is not the case here. So it is B as we thought, right? Skewed to the left. So we'll stop here. And I hope this was useful to you. So please continue studying for the AP STAT exam. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.